Ever get that feeling? Like your home's stuck in a time warp.
Oh, yeah. Kitchen's screaming for a makeover. The tech's practically prehistoric.
Totally. And who wouldn't want a home that's modern, convenient, maybe even adds a little bump to the old property value?
Right. That's exactly what we're diving deep into today. DIY home renovations and all of the cool, sometimes kind of tricky stuff about smart home tech.
We've got a whole pile of resources for this one. YouTube tutorials, blog posts from people who've been there, even advice from the pros on budgeting and design.
Oh, yeah, we've got the works. Practical guides, how-tos, deep dives into kitchens and bathrooms, even some opinions on planning and, not blowing the budget.
So if you're dreaming of a kitchen that'd make a chef jealous, a bathroom that feels like a spa, or just want to sprinkle a little smart tech magic around, well, we've got you covered.
We're sifting through it all, trying to pull out those golden nuggets of wisdom.
We want you to walk away from this deep dive feeling like you can tackle your own home improvement project with confidence.
That's the goal, to understand that planning stage, how to make your dream design fit your budget, and how to weave in the smart tech so it's comfy, efficient, and maybe even boosts your home's worth.
Okay, so first things first, let's talk about the foundation of any DIY project. Planning, right?
Planning, planning, planning. You can't skip it. Things can go sideways fast without a good plan, even if it seems simple.
Right. So we're talking design, figuring out exactly what you're going to do, and of course, being smart with the money.
Exactly. Hit those 3 points and you're golden.
Let's start with design. This is where you get to dream a little, picture what you want. And you know what? There are some pretty neat trends out there.
Absolutely. We're seeing a lot of sustainable stuff, like
Yeah.
using reclaimed wood, eco-friendly tiles, that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's good for the planet, and it just looks really modern and fresh.
It's not just an afterthought anymore either. Smart tech is becoming a part of the design process from the very beginning.
And then there's that biophilic design, bringing the outdoors in. More plants, more natural light, good for the soul.
Makes a huge difference.
So let's break it down by room. For kitchens, one thing that popped up a lot was backsplashes. They can really change the whole vibe.
A new backsplash can really make it pop. And you know what else? Repainting cabinets instead of replacing them. Much easier on the wallet.
And bathrooms. Swapping out those old faucets and shower heads can make it feel so much more modern.
Totally. And again, repainting cabinets is a good trick. Even something like stenciling the floor can make a huge difference.
And let's not forget about living rooms.
Living rooms, bedrooms, the whole house. Accent walls are super popular, adds a pop of color, a bit of personality.
And furniture. Sometimes all it takes is a few new pieces to give the whole room a new feel.
Oh, and outside. Don't neglect your outdoor space.
Right. A fire pit, maybe a little seating area, some plants, some solar lights. Instant upgrade.
Makes it so much more inviting. Now, here's a thought. Some of the sources talked about a lot was balancing what you love with what'll help if you ever sell the place.
Yeah, that's important. You want it to feel like you, but you also want to make sure it appeals to other people.
Neutral colors are usually a safe bet. Bold choices are great if you're staying put, but they might not be everyone's cup of tea.
Makes sense. Okay, so you've got some design ideas swirling. Now we need to define the scope. What are we actually doing?
Scope creep is real. It's easy for projects to get bigger and bigger, and suddenly you're way over budget.
Yeah, been there. So how do we avoid that?
Lists. Write down every single thing, from painting a wall to gutting the bathroom.
Okay, so break it down.
Exactly. And get specific with materials. Laminate flooring or hardwood. If you're hiring pros, set clear timelines. And figure out payments up front. No surprises.
Our sources had a good tip. Tackle one room at a time. Less overwhelming, right?
No, way less. Focus on the high-impact rooms first. Kitchens, bathrooms.
They mentioned a cost range for those. Around $100 to $200 per square foot for a big overhaul. Gives you a ballpark figure.
Yeah, but keep in mind, that's just a starting point. Moving walls, upgrading plumbing, that stuff adds up.
All right, got to factor that in. And this is where you got to be honest with yourself. What can you actually DIY and what should you leave to the pros?
Exactly. Painting, swapping out hardware, that's usually fine. But messing with electrical or plumbing, better call someone who knows what they're doing.
Safety first. And speaking of things that can make you sweat, let's talk budget.
The B word. This is where it gets real. You need a plan, and you need to stick to it.
So how do we make a budget that actually works?
Well, most sources said don't spend more than 10 to 15% of your home's value on one room. That usually gives you a decent return when it's time to sell.
It's good to know.
Yeah.
And any tips for saving some cash along the way?
Oh, tons. DIY where you can, repainting, peel and stick tiles, that kind of thing. And shop around. Salvage yards, places that sell reclaimed stuff. You can find some real gems.
And upcycling. Give that old furniture a makeover instead of tossing it. Saves money, and it's more unique.
Focus on cosmetic upgrades too. New light fixtures, refinishing floors, a few nice decorations. Big impact without breaking the bank.
Okay, this is important. The contingency fund. Everyone talked about this.
Gotta have it. Stuff happens. Delays, hidden problems, you name it. Having that extra 10 to 20% of your budget set aside can save you a lot of stress.
So what if those unexpected costs are, well, really unexpected?
There are options. Refinancing, home equity loans, even VA loans for veterans might have better rates.
Good to know. Okay, we've covered planning, budgeting. Now let's talk tech. Smart home stuff. This is where it gets futuristic.
This is the fun part. It's not just about having cool gadgets. It's about making your life easier, saving energy, feeling safe, even enjoying your entertainment more.
But just like with the renovation itself, you got to have a plan.
Absolutely. First, figure out what you want from your smart home. Security, saving energy, just making things easier.
And how much are you willing to spend? There are cheap options, and there are, well, not so cheap options.
And think about the tech stuff. Good Wi-Fi is a must, maybe a mesh network if you've got a lot of devices, and wiring. Some things need to be hardwired in.
Okay, let's talk features. Smart lighting. That seems like a popular one.
Oh, yeah. Control the lights from your phone, change the colors, set schedules, even use your voice. Motion sensors are cool too. Lights turn on when you walk in. Great for hallways and outdoors.
And what about climate control?
Smart thermostats are amazing. They learn your habits and adjust the temperature automatically. Some studies say you can save 10 to 15% on energy.
Wow.
And then there's zoned heating and cooling, controlled different areas of your house separately.
Sounds fancy.
It is, but so worth it. Okay, security is another big one. Smart locks, cameras, alarms, all that stuff.
You can keep an eye on things from anywhere.
Exactly. And video doorbells, those are pretty neat. See who's there without even getting up.
And what about those voice assistants?
Alexa, Google Assistant, they're like the control center. Tell them what to do, and boom, it happens.
That's so cool.
But here's the thing. Not all devices work with all assistants. So do your research before you buy. Make sure things are compatible.
Good point. And appliances. They're getting smart too.
Fridges that tell you when you're low on milk, ovens you can preheat from your phone, even smart plugs that make your dumb devices smart.
Ooh, that's a lot of smartness.
Right. And for entertainment, smart TVs and speakers, voice control, streaming, all that jazz.
And if you're into saving energy, smart meters and outlets can help you track your usage.
See where you're wasting power.
Okay, so we're getting all this cool tech, but it's got to look good too, right?
Absolutely. You want it to blend in, not stick out like a sore thumb. Think about the aesthetics. And future-proofing. Make sure your wiring can handle upgrades.
And what about those control hubs?
Smart things, Apple HomeKit, those are great. Control everything from one place. Makes life easier.
So what are the big benefits of all this smart home stuff?
Well, we've talked about saving energy, feeling safer, convenience, and it can add value to your home. People love smart homes.
Makes sense. So someone's just starting out. What are some good beginner-friendly gadgets?
Smart plugs are a great starting point. Cheap, easy to install, and they instantly make your old devices smart. TP-Link Casa, those are good ones.
What about smart speakers?
Amazon Echo, Google Nest Audio, those are great too. You can use your voice to control other devices, play music, all sorts of stuff.
Cool. And smart lights.
Philips Hue is a good brand. Replace your old bulbs and suddenly you can control the color, brightness, everything. Super easy to install.
And for saving energy, what about those smart thermostats?
Yeah. Amazon Smart Thermostat, Google Nest Thermostat, they're both popular. Learn your preferences, adjust the temperature for you. Pretty simple to install.
And for security.
Blink or Ring video doorbells, those are good. And Eufy makes some decent indoor cameras. Easy to set up, you can check in from your phone.
Okay, what about those robot vacuums? Everyone seems to have one.
They're awesome. Eufy RoboVac is a good budget-friendly option. They clean your floors for you. You can even schedule them.
That's amazing. I need one of those.
Hmm.
And what about those devices with the screens, the smart displays?
Oh yeah, those are cool. Amazon Echo Show, Google Nest Hub Max, they're like a speaker and a tablet in one. Control devices, watch videos, even see your security cameras.
Wow. So any tips for people who are new to this smart home stuff?
Start small. Don't go crazy buying everything at once. Pick one or two devices, get used to it, then add more later, and make sure everything works together. Choose devices that are compatible with your favorite voice assistant.
Good advice. Okay, let's talk about two rooms that are often at the top of the renovation list.
Yeah.
Kitchens and bathrooms.
Big projects usually come with a big price tag too.
So kitchens first. Cabinets are a huge part of the cost, and they make a big visual impact.
You've got options. Ready to assemble from those big stores, semi-custom, fully custom. Price goes up at the level of customization.
And it's not just the cabinets themselves, right? The doors make a difference, too.
Absolutely. Partial overlay, full overlay, inset. Inset's the most expensive. Those doors have to fit just right.
And then there's the wood, the color, the style of the doors. All those little details add up.
Yeah, and don't forget about appliance panels. Matching your fridge to your cabinets can get pricey.
Oh, and the layout. Moving plumbing and electrical, that's where things can get really expensive. One source told a story about having to redesign their whole kitchen because of a drain pipe in the wrong spot.
Yeah, that's a good reminder to know what's behind those walls before you start knocking things down. And when you're planning the layout, think about how you actually use the kitchen. Enough space around the stove, easy access to the fridge, all that practical stuff.
And the island debate. Should it have a sink or not? One source said they weren't sure at first, but it ended up being the best decision for their space.
Sometimes it's about function, not just looks.
Countertops. So many choices, and so many myths about the cost.
Marble isn't always the most expensive. Granite isn't always the cheapest. It really depends. Best thing to do is go to a stone yard and see what they've got.
They also mentioned butcher block and laminate. Good options if you're on a budget.
And don't forget about the hardware. Changing the knobs and pulls can make a big difference.
And the backsplash. Another chance to get creative.
Tile, beadboard, wood, stone, so many options. But think about cleaning. Some materials are a lot easier to keep clean than others.
Appliances. That's a whole other world.
From basic to super fancy, panel-ready fridges look sleek, but they can be more expensive and harder to replace.
And don't forget about the size of the stove.
Yeah.
Enough burners, enough oven space. Got to think about how you actually cook.
Good point. And lighting, that's the jewelry of the kitchen.
Sconces, pendants, under cabinet lights. The options are endless.
And think about the height of your ceilings. Pendants might not work if your ceilings are low.
Okay, let's move on to bathrooms. Another room where it's easy to overspend.
Oh, yeah. Size matters, the materials you choose, and how much you can DIY.
It really comes down to what you want and how you use the space.
One source from the UK said a typical bathroom reno can cost over £6,000.
Wow. But they also said it can be cheaper or, well, a lot more expensive depending on your choices. And the time it takes can vary too. Plumbers usually need a few days. Tiling can take longer depending on the size and the condition of the walls.
Showers can be tricky. Electric showers are cheaper and easier to install, but they might not have the best pressure. Power showers give you more oomph, but they might not work with all boilers, and you usually need both hot and cold water lines. And don't forget the enclosure and the tray. They can add up.
And then there's the bathtub.
Ah, the centerpiece. From plain and simple to luxurious works of art. Glass, copper, marble, even stone. If you're going for a freestanding basin, remember you'll need something to support it. A countertop, a cabinet, something.
And taps. They can get pricey. Pillar taps are usually the cheapest.
And toilets. Simple or fancy, wall-mounted or not, all those choices affect the price.
And then all the extras. Radiators, towel warmers, underfloor heating, extractor fans, lighting, decoration, storage.
Don't forget storage. Bathrooms are usually small, so you got to get creative. Vertical space, built-in shelves, anything to maximize storage.
Okay, we've covered design, scope, budgets, kitchens, bathrooms. Now, how do we actually make this happen?
Timelines. Every source stressed how important it is to have a detailed schedule.
So break it down into steps, set deadlines, figure out what needs to happen first.
Exactly. Estimate how long each step will take, prioritize, be flexible because things will change. And if you're working with contractors, make sure they're on board with the timeline. Communication is key.
Yeah, and don't forget to build in some buffer time, just in case.
Oh, and track your progress. Use an app, a spreadsheet, whatever works for you. Stay organized.
Working with the contractors and suppliers can be tricky. Any tips?
Get recommendations, check reviews, look at their past work, and get multiple quotes, at least 3. Make sure you're getting a fair price.
And communication right.
Constant communication. Be clear about what you want, the timeline, everything. Regular check-ins are important too.
And budget for materials. One source said to figure around $100 to $200 per square foot for big renovation.
Yeah, that's a good ballpark. And remember that contingency fund. Always expect the unexpected.
Local suppliers are usually a good bet. Faster deliveries, easier to communicate.
And keep all your paperwork together. Contracts, invoices, everything.
So what does a typical renovation timeline look like?
Well, it can take anywhere from 3 to 6 months, depending on the project, but usually goes like this. Planning first. Budget, scope, contractor research, then demolition. Safety first if you're doing it yourself, then HVAC, electrical, plumbing rough-in, then framing and drywall,
Then painting, usually a good DIY project.
then cabinets, fixtures, doors, windows,
Then a deep clean.
everything. House, air ducts, the works.
Flooring's usually last, right?
Yep. Less chance of damage, then trim, finishing touches, and you're done.
Okay, we've covered a lot. As we wrap up, what are the key things to remember?
Know what you want. What are your goals for this renovation? And do your research. Look at local home values. What styles are popular so you don't overspend or make choices that'll hurt you when you sell.
Budget is everything.
Seriously, realistic budget with a contingency fund. Remember, kitchens and bathrooms usually give you the best return on investment.
Like multiple quotes, always.
Don't just go with the first one. And if you're doing smart home stuff, start small. Choose devices that work together.
Plan, plan, plan. That's the biggest takeaway.
Think it through before you start swinging that sledgehammer.
Okay, last question for our listeners. Now that you've heard all this, what's the first step you're going to take? And what are you most excited about?
Dream big.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. We hope it's given you some ideas and some confidence to tackle your own home improvement projects.
DIY can be really satisfying, but don't be afraid to call in the pros when you need to. And remember, smart home tech can make your life so much easier and more fun.
We'd love to hear about your plans, your questions, anything you want to share.
Maybe it'll even inspire a future deep dive.
Until next time.